Greetings and welcome back to Spoiling Movies. I'm Krista Thor Wackinson, and I'm going to be telling you all about a movie I just watched and tell you how I feel about it, break it all down, tell you all the scenes. So the movie opens up with Natalie Portman and what's-his-name Skarsgård. They're in New Mexico and they're researching storms. They're kind of like storm chasers. See a storm appear right in front of them, and they go straight toward it to get some information and pictures. End up running into a guy. And then they go to Norway in some number AD. Odin exposition. We get Odin's position about the frost giants and when they came to Earth, and how when Odin arrived with his forces, he pushed back the forces of the frost giants, brought peace to Earth. The people that were on Earth started making legends about them being the gods. Odin is able to take their frost weapon from them, the weapon that causes frost. Wherever it frosts, it's frosty fucking house. And then we see Asgard, glorious, beautiful Asgard, and the giant pipe organ that is the main castle. Young Thor and young Loki being taught by young Odin, who's still pretty old, about not to seek war. A wise king does not seek out war. He tries to prevent it. But present day Asgard, they're having a giant celebration. Thor's there, he's got his big helmet with the big wings on it, which I actually really like. I wish they had the big winged helmet more often in the MCU. He's got his hammer Mjolnir, just as it always has looked and been. He holds up his hammer and says, "Yes, I'm the best. I returned from war and I'm greeted with the ceremony. I'm going to become the king now." But before Odin gives him the throne, alarm goes off. We get to see that the frost giants have infiltrated the vault that Odin keeps all the confiscated weapons in. The frost giants are not able to get their frosty casket thing back, that they call it a fucking casket, because the destroyer, big weird destroyer robot thing, comes through the wall, blasts them with its fucking face blast. And they've already started doing this Dutch angle thing, where the shots, for those of you who don't know, Dutch angles when they sort of turn the camera a little bit. And it's done quite often in this movie. So Thor wants to retaliate and throws a little tantrum like a little fucking baby. Odin says, "You're acting silly. We don't go and start wars when it's not necessary." He's like, "But they got into the vault. They could have destroyed all of Asgard, but they didn't. So quit your whining, you little fucking Thor bitch." Thor is able to talk his friends, the Warriors 3 and the lovely warrior lady Sif, go with him to Jotunheim, the frost giant's planet. We're introduced to Heimdall, which is he controls the Bifrost, which is able to send people to different places. He expresses his concern that he doesn't want them, think that they should be going there, but he allows them to go anyway. They meet the frost giant king, Laufey, I think his name is, Laufey, and Laufey says, there's no reason to start war. And as soon as Thor's like, "Okay, fine," he turns around getting ready to leave, and he's like, "Run home, little princess." And Thor's like, "Oh, I'm not having that, motherfucker." So a giant battle begins. It's a great, glorious battle. Fucking frost giants everywhere. They're coming at him with ice knives, ice fists, spiky fucking shit. Fucking Thor grabs Mjolnir, fucking spinning it around, fucking throwing it through the air, fucking throwing it through people, bringing it back to him, showing what the thing can do. He's spinning it crazy, fucking flinging rocks at everyone. But we get to see Loki's interesting abilities, the magician shit. Somebody's chasing towards him and he's on the edge of a cliff. It's an illusion. The guy falls off the cliff, so we see what Loki can do a little bit. Magic shit. Frost Giant grabs Loki and his arm starts turning blue. He doesn't freeze, his arm starts turning blue. The Frost Giants release a giant beast. Throwing the hammer actually makes him fly, so he's able to fucking Superman right through the beast's mouth. Bifrost light comes down from the sky. Odin is there on his big ass horse with his spear, and he's like, "Enough!" Odin takes everybody and gets back to Asgard. Odin scolds Thor. He says, "You're a cruel, vain, greedy young boy." And he says, "You're an old man and a fool." Odin casts him out of Asgard, uses the Bifrost, sends him to Earth, takes away all his abilities, all of his armor and shit goes flying off of him. Odin speaks an enchantment into Mjolnir. "If he be so worthy, whoever is able to lift this hammer would have all of the powers of Thor." And he tosses it into the fucking Bifrost, sends that also to Earth to test Thor, to see if he's ever going to be able to be worthy to wield Mjolnir again. So now we're back to present day, back on Earth. When he got hit by the car, they're like, "Oh my god, sorry we hit you, didn't know that was a person inside the middle of a fucking tornado. And Thor's like, just show me where I'm fucking go to get out of here. I said, show me where to go to get out of here. And he goes, the fucking comedic girl tases him. They take him to a hospital. He wakes up in the hospital, starts fighting the guys, and they try to get him out. And he's like, do you know who I am? I'm the mighty. They give him a syringe to the neck, and he fucking goes down once more. He manages somehow to get out of the hospital, and he gets hit by the van once again. They have a chat. Thor says these stars are different stars than what I'm used to. He's talking to Skarsgård, and stars and Skarsgård. My Skarsgård. It's our stars, Skarsgård. You're talking to a god, Skarsgård. It's our stars, Skarsgård. I'm the god of thunder, Skarsgård. Then there's a hammer pulling montage. There was a hammer was in the deserts of New Mexico. Nobody can pull it out. Some of the locals have found it. Trying pulling it out with, bare hands. They're making it into a party. Stan Lee does his cameo as a truck driver that is trying to pull the hammer out with a chain in the truck. Bumper gets pulled off, and he's like, did I get it? But I was already questioning the physics of the enchantment on the hammer. If it's down in the dirt, why can't you just cut around the dirt? You'd have the hammer and maybe a clump of dirt attached to it. It's questionable how the enchantment actually works. Loki goes to Odin's vault. He touches the frost giant casket thing, turns him all blue. And he talks to Odin and says, what is this? What is going on? Am I a monster? And he's like, you're not a monster, you're my son. And he's like, tell me the fucking truth, father. Odin admits to defeat the frost giants and bring peace to the land. He actually took Laufey, the king frost giants, he took his child, which was Loki, to raise him as his own, because he thought it would unify and keep things peaceful with the lands, but he did not tell Loki what was going on. Loki yells at him, and for some reason at that time, Odin decides to go to sleep, decides to pass out on the steps, and Loki calls for the guards, and they take him away. So Thor and Natalie Portman and Skarsgård and Darcy are at a diner. And, again, a Dutch angle for absolutely no conceivable reason. I don't know why they keep using the Dutch angle so much. Agent Coulson shows up with all of his security people to the place where Natalie Portman and Skarsgård and them have been doing their scientific shit, trying to learn about the Rosen Bridge, fucking Bifrost and all that. So the secret government Coulson, they're taking all their shit, all their equipment, everything. Loki tells Frigga that, which is Thor's mother, he is in Odin sleep. He's taking his Odin sleep, which I guess happens all the time. But that's a thing from the comics and stories that has always happened. It happens in a cycle. It happens like every 100 years or something. So this isn't like he's dying. But in the movie, I guess they're assuming that people don't know that happens all the time. So they're trying to make it seem like he might die, even though we know that he's not going to die because that's to Odin sleep. That's just something that happens all the time. So because Thor is off Asgard and Odin is asleep, Loki becomes the acting king. The warriors and Sif come and ask Loki if they could bring Thor back because they want him back here. He shouldn't be banished. And Loki says, no, that was the last of Father's wishes. We're not bringing him back like that. Thor finds out where the hammer is, goes to the place. It's being surrounded by S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. But he's pretty much able to just beat all of them up and get in there, even though he basically has the strength of a regular man with maybe some fight training or something at this point, because his superpowers have been taken away. So he's just beating up normal men as a normal man, basically. But he gets through all of them. They get Hawkeye. This first time we see Hawkeye. Hawkeye shows up and they raise him up into this weird thing. And he's got his bow and arrow and he's like, I'm gonna fucking shoot him. And they're like, wait, let's see what happens. Thor grabs the hammer, tries to pull it, and he just can't do it. So he just has this moment of like, ooh, ah. And then they grab him and they take him away. Loki shows up in the holding cell that Thor's been kept in. Loki tells Thor that Odin is dead. He's lying about everything. He says, Thor says, can I come back? He says, no, he can't come back. It's not possible. So he's like, okay, I'm sorry, brother. And they can't see him. S.H.I.E.L.D. can't see him because he's got the magical enchantment illusion shit on. But he tries to pull out the hammer, and he can't do it either. Skarsgård and Natalie Portman's character, Jane, are able to get Thor out of there by obviously lying about who he is, that he's a crazy person. They let him They let him take him away. Coulson already knows that this is a fake identity that they've made up for him, but he wants to keep tracking them and see what they do. So he lets them take him away. Loki speaks to Laufey, says, "I'll let your armies into Asgard." Skarsgård and Thor are having a drink, and he's explaining that he kind of likes Jane. He thinks she's interesting, and I'm actually, this is real. I'm actually from Asgard, and all your theories and myths are based on truth. So they go back all drunk. Thor grabs Skarsgård's drunk body, puts him in a fucking trailer where Jane is, and then him and Jane have a nice romantic conversation under the stars where he's explaining like, yeah, your magic is actually science, and where I come from, they're basically the same thing, blah blah blah, and they have a romantic fucking moment. Heimdall lets the Warriors 3 use the bridge to go to Earth to get Thor. Loki calls on the destroyer thing from earlier to be sent to Earth. The Warriors find Thor, tell him the truth about Loki and how he's been lying and acting as king, and how Odin's still alive. Loki and Heimdall have a very cool scene where Heimdall realizes he can try and kill him because he's not the real king, he's been faking or whatever, so he tries to stab him, and Loki uses the frosty fucking weapon thing, frosts him at his ass, and he's fucking just frosted over. So the destroyer is sent to Earth. The Warriors try to fight it. Lady Sif is able to get it from the back and like stab it like back of the neck, but it's a robot demon thing, and so it does this cool like robo twist around fucking moment that's I really enjoy. Thor knows that Loki is listening to him through the robot, and he says, "Forgive me, brother, for what I've done." And the giant robot turns around and starts walking away, and then turns around, fucking smacks him in the face. So he creates this big ass storm, is able to get the destroyer robot monster thing. It starts flying up in the tornado thing with him, and it's trying to blast him, and it can't be blasted. He's swatting him away with fucking Mjolnir. Thor's able to take him down with the big old lightning blast. Frost giants have infiltrated Asgard. Laufey's about to kill Odin, but Loki kills Laufey. It's all part of his plan. Somehow Loki has taken the frost casket weapon and merged it with the Bifrost and pointed it at Jotunheim, the frost giant's home. So it's going to overload and destroy their home, but it might also destroy other shit. It's not a good idea. Since Heimdall broke out of the ice, he was able to bring Thor back. Thor comes back. Loki's there, and he's got Odin's scepter. And somehow they're able to have a fight one-on-one, even though Thor's way stronger than him. But maybe because he has Odin's staff, that he's able to be on par with him. Plus he's got his trickery, magical trickery. Thor's trying to come after Loki to get him, but he uses the same illusion trick. So Thor almost falls off the fucking rainbow bridge. But he's able to get back, get Loki, fucking knock him on his back. And he puts Mjolnir right down on his chest and just leaves it there. And he can't get up because he's not fucking worthy to fucking pull the thing off his chest. Thor decides to smash the bridge, even though he won't be able to see Jane, who he's fallen in love with. He's just going to smash the bridge, destroy it so Loki can't kill people anymore. Loki's on the edge of the broken bridge, and he's about to fly off into space, and who knows where. Thor grabs him, but Thor had to like jump off the edge to grab him. Odin had already woken up, so he grabs Thor's cape. So there's Odin grabbing Thor, who's grabbing Loki. And Loki says, "I was just trying to be good enough for you, father." And he's like, "You were always good enough, son." And he's like, "No, whatever. Let's go." Falls back into space. No. And that's the whole movie. Thor became worthy again, fought Loki, Odin's alive again. The Darcy comedic sidekick character, She was fun. I wouldn't call her funny. Jane is pretty much a meh character. She's normally a great actress, but in this one, I think they just gave her a weird script to work with. Thor is very comic-y, very, very much more like he is in the comics. Weird yellow eyebrows and yellow beard to match his yellow hair, which looked very odd. And his contacts were way too blue, like very, very blue. Skarsgård's pretty fucking great in this movie. I actually really like Skarsgård. Loki's a standout. Loki is one of the best characters in this movie and the best actors for what he's been given, I'd say. Odin, fucking Anthony Hopkins, fantastic also. Great, amazing job as Odin. Fucking love that guy. Hawkeye, doesn't really have anything except they wanted to be like, hey, look, there's Hawkeye. The music is okay, but very manipulative. It wants you to feel things when you really don't need to feel certain things. But when it's action and stuff, it's pretty good. The visuals are pretty great when they do action stuff, but I gotta say, those Dutch angles, the fucking Dutch angles, it's like at least a third of the movie is shot with these weird fucking angles. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you trying to get across that way? The little town in Mexico, or New Mexico, it looks like a stage. It looks fake because it's just a tiny little town with a weird backdrop that's probably just a big painting. And it looks fake, and it doesn't seem like there's anything, like, at stake. I mean, it's silly, it's stupid, he's doing silly things, he's kind of fish out of water, but it's fun, it's a pretty pure comic movie. The weird Loki frost giant thing was interesting to me. I didn't know anything about that. It seemed an odd thing for us to get to know. Having someone be able to pick up Mjolnir and get all the powers of Thor seems like an odd thing. If you pick up the fucking hammer, you have all of his powers, so any guy that's just a good guy can pick up the hammer and just use lightning powers, can be super strong, can basically be a god. What if there's more than one person that can use it? Didn't feel too long, felt like the appropriate amount of time to be watching some shit. It's good time. Hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I'll catch you on the next review. Leave me a comment, let me know how you're feeling, how you're thinking.
There's a trillion aliens cooler than you.
Want to make sure everyone knows this is the real Mjolnir. This is the real hammer. Exactly as I remembered you. Box-shaped and all. Also, I like playing video games. Fucking nailed it. I feel like that should be like the thumbnail. This looks stupid as shit. Fuck this goddamn wig. That sucks. Pew, pew. Peace out, everyone. Another! You like my fucking paper teddies? I'm put them closer together. I got big old fucking paper teddy. Draw fucking nipple. Draw fucking nipple. I can't remember where places are that I'm supposed to do this. You know what? I was gonna save this. I can't even. It's all backwards on my screen. I gotta draw backwards. I can't do it. I can't fucking do it. How do I go backwards? Just start right here. Oh, that's a fucking. Alright, it's a nipple with hairs. It's a hairy nipple. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. To Asgard. Oh. Milkshake brings Asgard to the. God damn it. Whatever. Fuck off. Another. And then. This wig is hot as fuck. Another! Oh, I look stupid. I love this. You can see a fucking pizza shop logo. Work with what you got, people. And should have known I can't move around much in this shit. It's what they drink on Asgard. It's called Asgardian's Best Light. And they're all like, oh, he's a good-looking Thor. He's a good-looking dude. I'm supposed to wear this tomorrow at a fucking party, and I don't want to at all. This wig sucks. At this point, Thor has been shown to be worthy, so he calls upon Mjolnir, and Mjolnir comes to him, and he causes a fucking storm. My godly powers can only go so far without regeneration juice. Another!